Hello, everyone. Welcome to this first episode of Real Living in Elmhurst. And in case you're wondering, why is this video podcast series called and labeled Real Living in Elmhurst? It's because what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to share with all of you is why I myself, along with many of you, enjoy living here in Elmhurst. What is your reason for having moved to Elmhurst, whether it be a year ago or maybe you're a lifelong resident? And along the way, as part of each and every one of these episodes, it is also to spotlight what some of my friends, neighbors, business associates who either live in Elmhurst, own a business in Elmhurst, is to give a quick spotlight as to what they do and why they do what they do. So in that spirit, tonight's episode is where I have the honor. I'm going to have a lot of fun to bring in our first guest tonight. His name is Kevin Graff. And as I introduce him now and bring him into the studio, Kevin Graff, if you don't know him, Elmhurst neighbors, residents, business owners, Kevin Graff serves as our president of the Elmhurst Park District. And in my opinion, he is the perfect person to do that. Let me tell you why, in my opinion. The guy knows how to grow golf turf grass like no other person around me, close to me, far from me. And I've often scratched my head to wonder, what is that guy's secret recipe? So Kevin, welcome to tonight's first episode of Real Living in Elmhurst.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate you having me on.
You're very welcome. So leading you all first with the first important question. What is your secret, buddy, for growing golf turf grass?
So it all starts with the soil, quite honestly. It starts with tilling the soil a little bit where your dead grass is or whatever. And as you know, we do a big Halloween spread, so I have a lot of dead grass come spring. And you got to till the dirt, you got to add some new dirt. And then I do an overabundance of seed. And then I top the seed with a little dirt and kind of mix it all in. And then I cover the top typically with easy seed. Some people use the old newspaper or straw. Any one of those will work. But the biggest thing is watering and making sure that it's wet and it has a nice climate to germinate and then grow. So, and even after the grass is grown after 7 to 10 days, you still got to water it to make sure that it gets that good root foundation.
Yep.
That's this honest to God secret, and a lot of sun and luck and warm weather.
And I would add one more thing. It's all of that plus your passion, your love, and your consistent effort. Right?
There is a lot of effort, but yeah, no, it's fun. It's therapeutic in that sense, right? To get outside. And one of the reasons I love the Park District is you're outside, there's lots of things to do. And that just happens to be one around my yard, as well as planting annuals and perennials and seeing things come back every year is always a welcome treat, especially when you planted it last year, wondering if it's going to make it this year.
Very, very well said. Very well said. And so, Kevin, that's why I've been teasing you over the past few days leading up to tonight with, Kevin, I've got the perfect introduction as to why you are our fearless leader, leading your team of commissioners to manage the Park District. Yeah,
no, it's an honor to serve the residents, and to be elected and strictly volunteer position, but it's great to do that and to see the vision of what makes the Elmhurst great, quite honestly. And the park system and what we have in the parks is one of those reasons.
Yeah, that's why I would tell you that's why it's important for my family and myself to have chosen to live here in Elmhurst. And who knows, maybe for all of you watching tonight, that could be your reason amongst many as well. Now, Kevin, care to share with us any new initiatives, any updates as to what the Elmhurst Park District is planning to do, committed to doing for all of us?
Sure. Yeah, actually, I'll start out by a couple interesting things. Last year was a really busy year with grand openings. You know, we redo a playground every year. So we have about 20 to 21 playgrounds now. We redo one every year. So last year was Eldridge Park. And the big thing about Eldridge Park East, because there's two playgrounds in Eldridge Park,
right,
was it got postponed because of the pandemic. So
yeah.
we were extremely happy that we were able to catch up and do that last year and get that taken care of for the residents over by Eldridge and in that neighborhood, because it's a great little park, or great big park, actually. We also did Gloss Memorial, which is downtown Elmhurst, or on near downtown Elmhurst, which, you know, there's a lot of development going on. There's a lot of new apartments, townhomes, and condos. So it's great that we were able to expand that park and be able to do that. And then one of the big accomplishments was back in 2020, in our 100th anniversary, we opened up Centennial Park, at which time we worked with the school district to kind of sell them the Abbey for their transition center. But then we purchased Redeemer property and that building there to reopen our adult center, and which opened up last year as the Centennial Rec Center, which is CRC. And it's been a great boon that it's opened. But that's what we did last year. So what are we going to do this year? So a couple big things. Again, we have another playground that's going to be redeveloped this year called Ben Allison. It's over on West Avenue. And so that's a neighborhood park and a little park there that's going to be redeveloped. And then we are in the midst of doing engineering for Pick Park, which Pick Park became part, which is over on the west side of 83, near Villa Park, but that's still Elmhurst. They became part of the Park District back in 2016. And so it's considered a park desert because there's not a park within walking distance, safe walking distance. And there's boundaries of what's considered that, like railroad tracks, Route 83, St. Charles, those types of things. So we're very pleased with that we were in partnership and with the city of Elmhurst and the DuPage County to be able to do that. The city of Elmhurst conveyed over a couple properties they had. We purchased a piece of property, so we're in engineering for that. And big news about that is we got a OSLAG grant, which is the Open Space Land Acquisition through Illinois, and that grant is for half of the park of what we're doing over there. So it's about $340,000 that won't have to be spent out of tax funds or revenue that the Park District generates. And then one big thing that I know you're waiting on, and I'm waiting on personally, is the dog park. And we've been talking about that for probably 4 to 5 years already. Right. And so super excited to say that all of the engineering, the approvals, all of that is happening this year, and construction will happen next year as soon as we can get out there. The site is being prepped. Obviously, we just recently did some asbestos removal in the building that was there so that we could safely take it down. And it was like an old shed or something, garage. So that's being taken down. And so that's going to get the ball rolling on being able to create this wonderful dog park next year that will open next year.
Wonderful.
Yeah, one of the other big things I want to highlight is our Sugar Creek Golf Course. If people didn't know, Sugar Creek Golf Course is located in Villa Park. It's a 9-hole golf course. and we're doing a restoration on the creek bed and pond that is within the Sugar Creek Golf Course. And so it's long overdue, but the great news there is it's about $1.2 million project. It's completing up here within the next week. The golf course opens, I believe, May 1st. And we got another grant from two places, DuPage County, and we also got a grant through the EPA for about $650,000 total.
Right.
So another great project to restore some needed silt and some clearing of that, so that helps with the Salt Creek and the flow of Salt Creek.
Wonderful. Yeah. So for those of you watching tonight, ladies and gents, if you are golfers, we all know this. Here where we live, we have a short spring and summer season. And if you just happen to want to squeeze in a round of 9 holes, there you have it. That's where you can go.
Yep.
So Kevin, let's now shift gears a little bit.
Sure.
Because you are absolutely right. You do what you do as the leader of the Elmhurst Park District. You volunteer your time. You serve to so that the rest of us can benefit from the outcome. What is it that you do when you're not doing that? When you're not maintaining your own golf turf grass? What is it that you do with the remainder of your time?
Well, other than outside of my work life and my volunteer life, I like to be outside, quite honestly. I like to be in the parks, and fortune has it that I back up to York Commons. So, which I absolutely love. And, there's lots of things to do in York Commons, whether it's just walking in the park, the skate park, when the pool opens,
right?
That's available. We have a nice little playground. And then we have soccer fields and we have a baseball field. So it's basically a jack of all trades when it comes to a park. So I like to take the dogs walking through it, and then, kind of go over and see what's going on in the skate park and be amazed at the kids that are over there doing their thing with their, with the razors and the rollerblades and skateboards. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to see the agility that they have, which, if I try to do it now, I'd probably get hurt. But there's always this little itch that I want to get in there with my rollerblades and go rollerblading and do that. But that's another passion of mine, is to go out and rollerblade. And actually, quite honestly, skate over to Eldridge Park and skate around the path that's on Eldridge Park, which is a nice 3/4 mile walking path and or bike and other kind of paths. So
yeah, well said. Very well said. Yeah. Obviously, those two big parks with the walk trail, the running trail around it, is what we can all benefit from, not just visual, but also for our health. So as we now move the conversation beyond what you do, helping, lead the Elmhurst Park District, why Elmhurst for you? If I think I know this correctly, you've lived in Elmhurst for a very long time, right?
Near myself, personally, about almost 30 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And same home, and my wife's been here all her life, pretty much since she was about 5. So she, so she's only been here 35 years, I want to say.
Right.
But yeah, she's been here all her life. So pretty much her whole adult and childhood and everything. So she went to Jefferson, she went to Bryan, or I think she went to Bryan, and then she went to York.
So the reason or the answer of why Elmhurst for you is you've got your roots established here for so long, right? Yes, I would definitely say that. I think even if I didn't
wouldn't have met my wife and married her. This was a town. This is a great town. There's so much to do. Whether it's our downtown's very vibrant. The great park system, great school system. It's a great little town, and quite honestly, you can get anywhere within 30 minutes, roughly. Traffic, go downtown, go north, go south, go west. You can go any which way because there's an expressway or freeway, right near Elmhurst. So it makes it real simple to get anywhere.
Yeah. That last part is our reason as to why we chose to move here to Elmhurst. We haven't lived here as long as you have, but that was our reason as to why. So that, the easy in and out and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a diamond in the rough. I mean, it's, if you like, the variety, the different history and architecture that we have, the flank-road right, we got the Elmhurst History Museum, we got the Elmhurst Art Museum, got a great public library, and again, fantastic parks.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
It is. It's a great town.
Wrapping up, my last question for you tonight is, what is your personal favorite Elmhurst spot?
Well, if we could wait 1 year, it'll be the dog park.
Yes. Right on.
But I'd have to say, my top is York Commons. Probably due to proximity. Right. And if I didn't have to say proximity, I would have to say it's Wilder Park. Yeah. We have a 1800s historic building there that got restored back in 2003. We have the conservatory there, and we have great open space. That's where our feature is, where we do movies in the park, and a whole bunch of other events there. And we did have 𝙍𝙬𝙖𝙡. That's one of those big things that's going to be happening is that's going to be reclaimed as open space. The 𝙍𝙬𝙖𝙡 Museum's coming down this year. Okay. By August timeframe. Okay. So, and we're happy for 𝙍𝙬𝙖𝙡 because they needed more space. And quite honestly, and where they're at in Oak Brook is a great, it's a positive thing for them. So we're super happy for them. We're happy for the Elmhurst residents because it's going to open up some possibilities for that space in the future. Yeah. Which, quite honestly, one thing I did want to mention is the future, right? Yes. We're gonna, Vision 2020 was our focus on the future. We did a lot of community outreach for that, and we're going to be doing another set of outreach to focus on the next 3 to 5 years for the Elmhurst residents in the Elmhurst Park District. So keep an eye out on epd.org for that, because that's coming very soon, where we're going to be reaching out to various groups and activities and community members that want to get involved to formulate and focus on what should the Park District do in the next 3 to 5 years. What are the big things that the community wants, and see if we can't accomplish those items. Just like the dog park took a little longer than I wanted, but you know what? We're persevering, and we're going to be there next year.
Well said. Yeah. As we wrap up tonight's episode, Kevin, thank you for sharing your time with us. Thank you for also highlighting some of the great things coming down the pipe from the Elmhurst Park District. And for those of you who are thinking of moving to Elmhurst, because maybe right now today you live elsewhere and you're thinking of moving back to Elmhurst, you're thinking of moving within Elmhurst, when and if you need help with financing solutions for your real estate project, simply scan this QR code. There are ways to accomplish what you need to accomplish. So Kevin, as we wrap up, buddy, once again, thank you for being the inaugural first guest in this episode of Real Living in Elmhurst.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it.
Yes. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks
Yep.
for watching.
Thanks. Good night.